Hey, I was just thinking, because I remembered recently you made a post
The Covenant
that
will
sort of
believe that
referenced
everyone aboard this
noFAP,
lifeboat died in a crash.
and,
I've
you
heard
know,
thousands of tales
it's
before.
funny, people say,
The
oh,
noFAP system is
if
incredibly
you
sophisticated.
do noFAP, you'll get all these benefits, la 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 la. Meanwhile, I've never really seen that in my own life, or I
Alert!
think
The
people are
Covenant
very
dropship
delusional
inbound.
about the
We
power
must be
of
looking for
NoFap.
survivors.
Okay,
I
obviously, if you're
recommend
doing it three
immediate
times per
evasion.
day or 4 or 5 times per day, sometimes some of these people, I've heard of some people doing it 6 times per day. Like, you know, I mean, let's just talk about the amount of time you're spending on that sort of thing. Like, Jesus Christ. Um, But no Fap. And I'm glad you posted that, sort of making fun of no Fap, because okay, if you see such activities, it'll just be this glowing person that's infectious, and your endeavors will magically move forward, and stuff like that. It really depends. I have a lot of experience with basically sexual magic, and there is a use case for retaining. You know what the use case is? The use case is if you have a job and you only, have a release, let's say once, twice a week, once a week less, once every other week, maybe twice in 3 weeks, something like that. And then your sort of latent energies are, your life force is very directed into whatever you're doing. Like, I've done that before, where I'll work on Blender and other creative projects, and I just won't feel, any kind. It'll really absorb my lust or my drive, because drive for life is that. But even then, that's only happened a few times. Most of the time, actually, um, doing more, masturbating or whatever, actually produces more activity in my work. So, and it'll go the other way too, with, like, if I'm busy in life, that that'll increase, sort of my lust and drive, sexual drive. So, I this is something where, like, I've done a lot with Tantra, and I've really sort of studied my own, sort of sexuality in that way, which is why I'm so relaxed about it and write about it, like, whatever. Because that's what Tantra does. It makes you more, like, scientific and dispassionate about it. But I think this is this is a huge thing that people miss. It's not like I don't like. It's not like I don't have, drive, or, but it's more just like a physical need. It's not much different from eating now. So, that's really powerful. Yeah, I just find it incredibly unfortunate that so many people are hung up on the NoFap thing. Like, there's all these little paths that are like, because people don't know a lot and don't do a lot of, like, powerful stuff, which maybe for the better, because you can drive yourself insane. Lots of people get driven insane from Tantra. You can get very ill, apparently, which I could imagine from what I've experienced. Um, you know, but there's some really powerful magics and energies. So to me,
I'm reading a lifeboat
this is the
over the
same
next
thing
hill.
as, like,
We should check to see if there are any
fasting
survivors.
or various ascetic practices, some sensory deprivation, NoFap. I think if like, the thing is, I've always had a very ascetic lifestyle, even as a kid, because we just, but I think that these things are kind of the basics, like ABC, 1, 2, 3, 2 plus 2 equals 4, 4 plus 4 equals 8. Like, they're not. People act like, online, you almost get the impression that, like, no fap is the good shit. when it's a particular tool and it's a particular instrument and a whole symphony, and it's probably a minor one, you know. But because I think people don't understand, you know, that there is a symphony of different instruments, that there's a whole toolbox of tools, you know. they just know about like the hammer, you know. So like I've had a few times people get in my comments and talk about noFAP and you know, on my non-monog post, my main one, I got I think 2 people over various groups said something about, you know, me being a fapper basically. And then on my post about Magister Clavis looking like Astaroth, I had another commenter say that he looks like a fapper because he just looks lifeless, which I just don't agree. I think he has a very potent life force, but he's left-hand path, and he's a demonolator, and he works with these demons, and he works with demons. So I know he's a vampire. He talks about being a vampire. Basically, he drains the life force of other beings, and he even talks about this. You know, oh, but no, he's a fapper. No, it's negativity. You know, it's not like female. What is it? Boaz. You know, Pillar of Boaz. Etc. Negativity, but like the absence of, not just the opposite. It's the absence. It's the void. You know, and this is where some of these dark energies come from. And it's way more complicated than that, for sure. But, you know, this is what disturbs me, is, like, this is the state of, you know, the sort of the know-it-all, some of these know-it-alls in these groups. And it's not like, you know, if you just had in the Hermetic Hideaway only the people that know some shit, it would be like me, Julian. not that many people would be left, honestly, you know? Like, so I think it's great to have, I mean, I think the Hermetic Hideaway has a lot of smart people, but I guess I'm thinking more of Gnosis. If only the people that had a stable practice, were smart, see the bigger picture, were left in, there'd be like 1% of them in. You know, so I like Gnosis. I actually get a lot of good interaction on Gnosis, but I think some of the best of it is, oh hey, can you tell me more about this? Because there's a lot of people who are more like passive, who are more curious, they're more, you know, wondering about this stuff, and, you know, feeling like it's true, but not really having a practice of their own. So, you know, but no, the noFAP thing I do find incredibly disturbing, because it's like, yeah, sure, if you're doing it 6 times a day and then you go to, and you slowly wean yourself off of it, you know, you beat that addiction. Yeah, beating addiction feels good. And addiction is bad even without the object of the addiction being considered. You know, you can be addicted to you know, your handles Fruit Loops. You can be addicted to breakfast cereal, and that can be incredibly negative to your mental health. And, you know, you can overcome that, and that feels good. It feels good to overcome addiction. It does. I think that's more of the context of, that's more the reason why people quote unquote feel good going noFAP, and I find that disturbing. That people, I think, yeah, people aren't really able to even tell what they're feeling. This thing I'm saying is timely for me as well, because lately I've been interacting. I started talking with these Ekankar people, that they're like a cult that's they do astral projection and some things of that nature. And I talked to some people and listened in on this meeting over Zoom, and it was like, oh, I feel God. Oh, how do you know it's God? You know, like I felt so many different things through Vaishnavism and Shaivism, which feel quite different, even though the doctrine can be similar. The Mormon Holy Spirit, the Protestant Holy Spirit, the Catholic Holy Spirit, the now the Eckankar Holy Spirit, all of which have felt quite different. But like I have a lot of sensitivity of that sort of thing, so I can sense it, I can taste it. I don't know. Does I have some special powers, and I know why, of discernment, specifically. But is this something that the rest of everyone's just gonna have to struggle? But why? Is this something about the veil of illusion? I just don't understand. And I'm more and more troubled by this all the time. Well, if you got this far and you're listening, and I hope you hope you enjoyed what I had to say, and have a good day or night, whenever it is you listen. The other thing is that one's sexual energy is one's life force. Life force is infinite, and yet it takes time to replenish it. It's not infinitely infinite all the time, and ceremonial magic and things like that can increase one's ability to, so grounding can be like setting into the ground, setting into the manifestation matrix of the world, because actually manifesting goes through the earth. So when you manifest, you're co-creating with the earth and the universe, but the earth especially. And the earth then reciprocates and a lot. It's towards your desires, things like that. But there's even I've been shown there's even like crystals and stuff. Hey Dio, what'd I tell you? So yeah, like there's all kinds of machinery in the earth I've been shown that are basically like the machinery of manifestation, what sort of rebounds our thoughts back to us, what we're echoing against him. You can also manifest with, the universe, but I don't know if that really even works. I think the way that works is you're just building up energy in the ether, and then eventually you're gonna have to ground it anyways into the earth. But see, there's another form of grounding. The other form of grounding isn't putting energy into the earth as much. It's being able to increase your capacity to hold energy, to hold life force, to hold information, and all these other things, to digest the energies of the universe. So making yourself a continuously higher capacity battery, because always we're like a river flowing energy, but you can make yourself a wider river, like with ceremonial magic, specifically. So that's the other form of grounding. And there's a lot of nuance to that form of grounding. I vastly prefer to focus on that form of grounding, but now I'm putting energy into the earth, and it's pretty good. It's working out for me nicely lately. Don't be throwing Legos, boo. Come on. Throwing Legos at me. Hey! The other thing, so yeah, like there's all kinds of machinery in the earth I've been shown that are basically like the machinery of manifestation, what sort of rebound. And it's pretty good. It's working out for me nicely lately. Don't be throwing